What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jado Rican. Welcome to another episode of Extended Engineer Etiquette, man. Alright guys, today we're talking about internships, okay? Now your opinion on them could vary depending on your age, depending on where you are in your career, but ultimately, they really are there to help you just learn and get some experience for free, and sometimes, or at least hopefully, they lead to permanent employment at a studio, radio station, TV network, etc. for audio engineers. Now, if you're somebody who you just came out of school or you're still in school, internships are a great way to really get your feet wet and really get a good grasp of everything that's going on in the real world around you. It lets you know, what kind of places are hiring, what kind of field you want to get into as an audio engineer, whether it be live sound, broadcasting like radio or TV, recording engineer, studio engineer, things of that nature. There's a lot of different employment opportunities for audio engineers. Now, what you do with those internships are all up to you. Some of them are paid, some of them are unpaid. Some of them have a time limit where you're just an intern for this and then there's no job opportunity promised. Some of them can lead to actual permanent positions. Now, when you're trying to look for these internships, if you're going to an audio school that kind of sends your resume out to these places, always do your research on the places that are actually options. Do your research before you actually tell your school, say, okay, send my resume out to this company. Also, don't always rely on the school. Make sure you're on Craigslist, you're on Facebook, whatever platform, whatever medium it is that helps you find employment. Networking is a lot of the job. All right, there's a lot of networking that's involved in actually getting a job in these major studios, in these bigger environments. Now, some of them offer college credit. Some internships are only available if you're in a college, in an accredited college, that they give you credits for that internship. Now, unfortunately, those are like some of the better ones, but that's why I always say just research and just go out there and network. All right, there's always an opportunity out there. Even if it's somebody that like if it's a friend or if it's, somebody who you know in the neighborhood that does music or whatever, just try to see what you could do just to be in the studio with them and just to get that knowledge, because there is a lot of knowledge that's passed on just being around this environment. One of the major benefits of being an intern is that a lot of that weight of making a mistake isn't really on you. If you make a mistake, they're just gonna be like, oh, it's just an intern. But if you're an employee at a studio and you delete something or if something goes wrong, they expect more out of you. So that's why I think that's the biggest reason to be an intern, to be able to like make those mistakes and really learn through trial and error of what works in the studio and what doesn't. Teach you how to be on point and all types of stuff. Now let's say you're older, or even better, you're more seasoned. I would always pick and choose those internship opportunities. If they're paid or unpaid, if it's unpaid and you really can't work it out, make sure that it's worth the sacrifice, especially, if you have kids, if you have a family, if you have a wife, if you have a girlfriend, if you have other responsibilities that really hinder you from being just that intern that's like, hey, I'm available 24/7, 365, versus, the more, I could only intern, X amount of days a week. So try to find something that's worth your time. It's also smart to try to not be, so proud and really think outside of yourself and really think about what can I offer to a studio. If you're an engineer that really feels like you're seasoned and you're a veteran and you have this down packed, a lot of studios don't care. They're still gonna put you through the ringer, still put you through the the internship phase. But you should kind of go in there with that chip on your shoulder, like you've been around the block a couple times, you know how things running, you're still down to learn something, and you'll probably get opportunities quicker because you're experienced versus some of the other interns that might be in the studio. Overall, you have to really pick and choose your internships. When you are an intern, make sure you learn as much as you can. These are the moments where there's no blame, there's not a lot of levity in the mistakes that you make. All right, this is the time where you ask the most questions. Even if you're working for free or you're working paid, just make sure that you appreciate every second of it. All right, there's always something to be learned, and make sure that you try to find internships that help you in the specific area that you need either help in, or in the area that you are trying to do. Don't try to intern at a recording studio if you're trying to do post-production. Don't intern at live sound if you're trying to do mastering. All right? So that's another Engineer Etiquette, extended Engineer Etiquette, man. This is the 10th one. Really appreciate you guys taking part of my free mix getaway. I want to announce the winner of that getaway. Round of applause. 10 Buick. Congratulations, buddy. 10 Buick. Round of applause for 10 Buick. He is going to receive the free mix by your boy Puerto Rican. Appreciate everybody who participated. Shout out to Raw Life. You already know what I'm about to. You already know what I'm about to get into once I, finish this episode. Shout out to Raw Life, 24/7. I can't even do it, man. Shout out to Global Currency. All right, probably seen it in the hood near you. Engineer Etiquette, Puerto Rican, Web Pop.